it's Lindy here. Thank you so much for joining me. On today's episode, we are going to be making candy corn fudge. Now, when I think of Halloween, I think of candy corn. I wait and wait and wait until the stores release their candy corn because I love it so much. But you might not be a fan of candy corn, but it's still super cute. So the fudge we're making today is actually candy corn-like, but it doesn't taste like candy corn. This is also a really great fudge hack. It takes only 2 ingredients for 1 flavor, and you can actually mix and match and make whatever kind of fudge you want using this hack. You need a container of frosting, and I'm just using plain white vanilla because I'm making the candy corn fudge. Let's say you want to make lemon fudge. You can buy lemon frosting and candy melt, and you're going to make your fudge like that. So because our candy corn is 3 layers or 3 colors, we need 3 containers of frosting. These are just the 16-ounce containers, and then different colors of candy melts. I have white, yellow, and orange. I also have a 9x13 pan, my parchment paper, and a pot on my stovetop. Now, you can heat your chocolate and frosting in the microwave. Just be very careful because when you're dealing with chocolate, it can burn very easily in the microwave, okay? My suggestion is to start with white, and then we're gonna move to yellow, and then orange, because we won't have to clean the pot in between. Makes it easier, right? So you're going to go ahead and turn on your stovetop to medium heat, and you're going to put in your first container of frosting. Now, I'm just using plain white vanilla frosting. If you're wanting to make a different kind of fudge, change it up. It takes a bag of candy melts and a container of frosting. That's it. It's super easy. This recipe is going to make a lot of fudge because it's 3 batches basically in one. So we're going to go ahead and pour out the whole bag of candy melts in. These are 12 ounces. And we're going to continuously stir until they are melted. That took just a few minutes of heating to melt down the candy melts all the way and incorporate it into the frosting. Now we're going to line our 9x13 pan with parchment paper and then pour in our first color. I suggest lining the pan because it's going to make it so much easier to get it out of the pan and cut it when you're finished. If the sides start creeping up on you, the easiest thing to do is to put a little bit of the fudge down into the pan and spread it around, and it'll help hold down that parchment paper. So we're pouring in our white to start with. We'll go ahead and set this to the side. And we want to spread it all the way around so it reaches the corners. Then we're going to refrigerate this for 30 minutes. We do that because if we were to add the yellow right now, it would become more of a candy corn swirl than a candy corn looking candy fudge. So I'm going to refrigerate for 30 minutes and then repeat the steps with each of the colors. It's been 30 minutes that the first layer has been sitting in the refrigerator, so we're getting ready to add the yellow layer to the candy corn fudge. Again, 1 container of frosting that's 16 ounces. And 1 bag of candy melts. Now remember, I told you we wouldn't have to wash the pot in between because we are going from lightest to darkest. And again, our candy melts are a 12-ounce bag. And we're just going to go ahead and pour this in, stir it until it's completely melted and incorporated, and then we'll pour it on top of the white layer. As we pour the yellow layer on, we want to be careful while we pour it. Now, our white layer has sat in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, so it shouldn't be an issue, but we don't want to pour it in so quickly and heavily that it ends up putting an indentation in the white. Go ahead and spread out to the corners, and then you're going to refrigerate this layer for 30 minutes as well, and then we'll go ahead and get ready to add that final layer. We are finally ready for the last layer. I know this is a project that takes a little bit of time, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. So we're going to go ahead and mix in our last container of frosting and our orange bag of candy melts. Heat that over medium heat until it's completely melted and incorporated, and then pour it on top just like we did with the other layers. We're ready to pour on that orange. And again, just like the other layers, you're going to want to spread it around the pan so it's nice and even. This time, instead of letting it cool for 30 minutes in the refrigerator, we're going to let it set up for 2 hours. It's going to be so tempting to touch and check it, but trust me, wait 2 hours in the refrigerator and then we can cut it. The candy corn fudge has set in my refrigerator for about 2 hours, so we're ready to cut it. Now, you can cut it into traditional squares, but we're making candy corn, so let's go ahead and make it into triangles. All you have to do is lift the parchment paper straight out of the pan. The pieces on the end are not going to be quite right, so that's your opportunity to take a little bite and make sure that it tastes okay. You're going to want to use a really long knife. Start at one end and push across. It takes kind of a bit of force because it is cold and it is a little thick. Hopefully you guys can see this here. Well, I'll hold up this piece so you can see the layering. Now what we're going to do is set this piece aside, and then you're going to cut long strips, and then we're going to cut them into triangles. Okay, so we have our long strip here, and all we're going to do is start at one end, and again, the edge is probably not usable, and then we're just going to cut triangles. All right, we can put them on our little Halloween platter, and we're ready to go. This fudge does not have to be kept in the refrigerator because it doesn't have anything in it that would spoil. Now, it will last longer, and you actually can make it ahead of time and freeze it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you're notified every time that we upload a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.